So right now, not a lot. There's a lot of colored sparkles.
The
Uh,
purples.
sparkles colored.
Yeah.
No, there was a purple light before. Um, but now it's like mm,
How do you feel while you're there?
feels a lot. I know, like now it's starting to move a lot, like your um your visualization on the YouTube video, that circle and the colors.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the last period. I've been I just want a lot of things with sparkles, like acrylics with sparkles and markers with sparkles, and now I'm in a colored sparkle place. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe I want to like get it more into the physical somehow.
Well,
Mm.
what do you feel like that sparkly place is the place like, what do you do there?
I- I'm I'm just observer. Mm. It seems like from places, like from in certain places, there are spirals as well.
Mhm. What do you feel like the spirals do?
Energy vortexes.
Mm. Can you go over to the spirals or anything or feel them and see what they feel like?
So seems like yes, and it's I know. So right now, I was just thinking about generating energy there and making the connection with some of the energy that we were talking about last time around that pink magenta light.
Now that you've,
So
oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so um yeah, so I think I'm in one right now, so I'm just starting to see more of that pink light, and this makes me very happy,
Mhm.
very happy. Yeah.
And does this feel like the 5D energies that you're referring to?
Yeah, yeah.
Besides happiness, how else do you feel in those energies?
I'm just talking in right now. uh, just because no, we were having the conversation before, and all my energy was super cranked up and out of my head, and now like, hi, this is how you can feel, and it's beautiful.
Just let that energy flow throughout your body. Just let it go in there and cleanse you, help everything become more aligned. Just really connect with that energy to allow it to be a healer right now.
Yeah, it's working on my solar plexus right now.
What's going on there with the solar plexus?
It's just working there, and It's like warming up and just feels like it's lighting it up.
Mm. So we're going to let that work for you. Are there any other places it's working on?
The heart, it's there.
What's going on with the heart?
It's all, so it's just spiraling around my heart, lighting it up. Just feels
Mm.
activity there, cleaning it up.
You're getting your little spa treatment going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like hope for. And then, yeah, now my third eye.
Oh, okay. And as it's working on the third eye, are you getting more of a connection?
No, right now feels the same.
Hmm. Is there anywhere else this spiral wants to go?
Maybe to the throat. I know. No, I love working with the energy.
Yeah, to be in that space and to experience is you can't. It's hard to explain the amount of healing that the energy can provide.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
then there's things sexy. It's one of the things that you like to do.
Is it? Does that energy want to connect with you more?
No, just we're just playing, just going through my body and just filling up everything. Um, yeah, and then I was just getting the message around now you're wanting something around solar alignment. This is one thing that you have, and be able to do this to my body and to the other people as well.
How would you do it to other people?
Um, well, first of all, it's the co-creation, and I close my eyes, and then I just see all of these lights that go into different areas of their body. And there's the visual part, and then the hands usually would go where they need as well. It's a combination between seeing the energy and also channeling and working with it with the hands
So would you need to be in physical contact with a person, or could you do this remotely?
remotely as well.
Okay. And how would you initiate it? Would you just set an intention like we do for BQH, or would you just, um,
It I did it also in the past a couple of times, and usually it's a joint intention.
mhm. How often does this vortex suggest that you work with it for yourself?
Every day. Well, it's like brushing my teeth.
Okay. Is there any other messages from the vortex that and the energies that they can provide for you right now?
Just, yeah, this is something you like to do. Like, hopefully it's clear. And don't remember. Don't forget about it.
Yeah. Um, is everyone able to tap into these energies right now?
I don't know. Usually energy is there, so uh, I don't know if everyone knows about them and wants to tap with them or play with them.
All right. So if we're okay, to move forward to the most relevant time and the most relevant place, and as we move forward to the most relevant time and most relevant place, we ask that those healing and aligning energies that Masha she just enjoyed, that she can continue having the healing and alignment with them. And as you move forward to the most relevant time and most relevant place, I want you to tell me the first thing that you feel, hear, or see, or anything that comes up.
There's not a lot of thing happening right now.
What's that?
There's nothing happening, I think.
Are you in the color still?
No, very dark and boring.
Well, feel around as you're there in the darkness. Do you feel anything around you?
Nope.
Do you feel where do you feel like this place is?
We want to make it the great void.
Okay. So usually when we go to the void, a lot of the times the higher self wants to come in and answer questions. Does the higher self want to come in at this point and answer questions?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to call in Maj's higher self and any of her collectives or angelics or soul guides that want to come help answer some questions for us today. And just let me know when they're here.
We're here.
Well, welcome, my friends. I appreciate you being here. And who am I speaking to right now?
The higher self.
Well, welcome. I appreciate it. Um, we really have been talking about this session that we're getting today, and really wanting Maja to um, see what kind of blockages are going on with her at this moment to help her move forward. Can you help us kind of do a body scan and kind of look and see if there are any physical blockages or emotional blockages that we can get higher information on?
Yeah, so the moment we called it in, like there was a column of light pouring in. Mm. Yeah, third eye, working on that.
Why was the third eye blocked?
The mind.
What's going on with the mind?
A very dense energy just blocks everything around that. Just all the time. So many doubts and thoughts.
So is this dense energy she's bringing into her energy field, or is it coming from others?
She's doing that.
And then why is she having those doubts? Like, where did that begin?
It's part of her soul choice to be able to work with those and overcome them. And also helps her at one point to be more grounded rather than doing some things without uh, pondering on them.
So
Like
what, yeah, go ahead.
how was the message yesterday? The more things you go through, then the more stronger you become. The more more yeah, the more thoughts you overcome, the more quiet and grounded you become afterwards. Something like that.
So what is it advice that you can give her for staying tools she can use to being more in balance with this in her day-to-day life?
So it's already in line with what she knows so far, and just um colors and energy are part of her soul signature, and the idea is to connect with that more.
And would her being connecting more is working with that energy vortex that she
Yeah,
first saw?
yeah, and and just working with the energy and the colors on herself, on others, on paper.
And the more she works with that energy and really gets in a healthy practice of doing that, what will she see open up in her life as far as her third eye and other things?
Her magic.
Hmm. Is there a
Just her
reason that
creator power.
Mhm. I mean,
It's
she's a
about
powerful creator. Yeah.
it's
Sorry.
about remembering that we are creator and we can also paint anything we want. And the more you practice that, the more you master it. The more you play with it, the more you master it. And like, some things were shown.
I think our audio got disconnected.
Sorry, I muted myself. I th-
There we go.
I was moving my hands.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
so what I was saying is like even when you move the hands in dance and with emotion, you create energy lines and colors, and that can also happen when you write and when you draw, when you speak, and what you think.
And what is that energy and color? And what does that do in the world? Like, why is that so important?
It seems like creates more beauty, more harmony. Each color has its own properties, and we are just living that in the world and just creating a more beautiful world. A m- magic, magnetic world.
Mm.
I just having these images in my mind where the world would change, like the more with our energy we create all of these beautiful colors, the more our world will look different, the flowers will look different, the birds will look different, everything will look different, everything will sparkle, will have different shapes. So
And
yeah.
how will her life be affected directly by that?
It should just be in her flow.
Mm. One of her things that she wants to do is to really align with her soul. Will that naturally put her in flow with her
Yeah.
soul's path? Her name means like a mage, like a magician. Is there a reason why she was given that name?
We are all that, and she's just one person that can remind other people they are the same. She's not the first one, she'll not be the last one.
Is that part of her soul contract to be
Yes,
able to re- awaken people to their superpowers, if you will?
yes.
What other things are a part of her contract that she's here to master?
It's also living in this world, being more grounded. That's a challenge that needs to be mastered.
What tools do
Bridging the
you,
two,
yeah?
bridging the two, like the energetic part and the dreamy part with the material part.
What advice on what she can do to help with the grounding?
Breathing, presence, acceptance. Just
Acceptance of
practice
what?
of life, of what it is, what every day brings.
Hmm.
Mm. Yeah, it was very nicely put in the previous session around whatever comes, making it your friend, sitting with it, accepting it until it goes away.
Are there other tools that you can say just besides acceptance? What can help her accept things?
There's nothing else. Like the human experience cannot be escaped. And yeah, the feelings cannot be escaped. They need to be accepted, seen, and maybe spray some glitter on them.
I like that. Now, can we move on down higher self to her throat chakra and see what was going on there?
Yeah, we're there.
You know, the vortex was working on the throat chakra. Is there anything that you can see of why it was working on the throat chakra that you can help us understand?
Yeah, this has been an old thing, and a lot of people have this as well. Um, again, this is just part of the human experience. It's a
But what
challenge
is it?
around that. Oh, just um, we come here from other environments, and we have parents, friends, school, teachers, colleagues that block and the way of we express ourselves.
Mm.
So all of this are the consequences of just that, and years of programming that slowly, slowly will need to be unprogrammed or will be.
So, what advice do you have for her to work with the throat chakra to help keep it, in flow?
Courage, trust, practice to speak more, whatever wants to be expressed without changing or censoring it for other people.
And as she
Taking
does it,
responsibility.
what was that?
Just taking responsibility for what she is and what she thinks, and Just not being afraid of not being afraid to do things wrong. Accept error, accept mistakes, and just flow with whatever needs to come. Release that expectations and I need a perfection or whatever needs to come out. It has to be a certain way. And it has to sound a certain way, even while talking right now, it just takes a long time until it needs to sound in a certain way. It needs to be in a certain way rather than trusting that this voice that is talking right now, it's the voice that's already with her and she knows already these things, but she still doesn't express them and she's afraid right now. She was afraid of around I'm just talking in my mind, but then yes, it's your mind that knows everything and you're just not listening to it and you're just blocking everything all the time. And it's running around in circles. So this is pretty much what's happening right here, right now. Yeah, everything is there, everything is known, all of the question has been answered, and then somehow this just gets been labeled as the mind and not being acted upon, and not letting it flow and being judged and having to sound or be in a certain way.
And will the people that love her in her life, will they still love her if she freely expresses herself?
Yes, she's done enough crazy things. um, yeah.
And if they don't, if they have an issue with how she freely expresses herself, is that their inner work or her inner work to own?
And like what I'm getting right now, it's around protection. And I mean, and just I'm being accepted as I am, even if they don't understand or they don't want to talk about it. It's okay because it's who I am. That's that. It's what I do. The thing that I'm doing, I can keep doing it. It's okay.
It's
um,
good.
yeah. So it doesn't need to be shared or known. It's just my thing, and it's accepted. My There are not a lot of people left right now, and uh, my dad. I'm just being, yeah. He just wants me in his life as I am. Doesn't like a lot of the egos and barriers already dropped, and people like when you're broken up like from all these parts. All that matters is just the true connection, and I'm just feeling that this is what is happening right now.
It's actually a really nice place to be. Just back
Yeah,
to the fundamental of just true connection.
yeah.
Now, higher self, can we move on down to the heart? The energy vortex was working on the heart. Can you go ahead and see what's going on there, why it was working on the heart?
Hmm. Well, this was the hardest one.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a black hole.
Hmm.
Black hole. Because the same thing, you can look at it with love and you can look at it with sorrow. And there's just been a lot of sorrow there.
As you tap into that sorrow, what messages does the sorrow have?
And we do have the capacity of attuning to things like radios, attuning to certain frequencies like radios. And the idea is that when you attune to this energy, and we all have that, we all have those moments of complete gratitude where we don't judge whatever happened and we just see the beauty in all. And the idea would be to try to connect more to the beauty and the gratitude while also feeling the pain and the sorrow. I'm just being shown that there is beauty in everything, and just open my heart to life. That's a message. Open the heart to life more. It's like you have the capacity to do that. You have the capacity to love everything as it is. You can see the beauty in every moment, in every leaf of the tree. There's a message of love from God, from universe. In the dying of somebody dear, there's a message of love from the universe, from that person, from life. Everything is a dance, everything is poetry.
Hmm.
And when we attune, when our heart center is open and clear, we see things like that. And we just love life more. We love everything more. Everything that is not essential drops away. All of the judgments, thoughts, busyness, worries, control, and we go more into beingness. We get closer to everybody that is willing to get close to us as well in the same frequency, or we can help other people open up that want to be open up. Like right now, I just have this feeling that, like, so my whole frequency changed, and I'm being told that I have to be closer to my dad as well. My heart wants that, even though we have such a long history around just not like being together, not being close. Like since I came, I don't know if I even hugged him once. Yeah.
Hmm.
And the fact that I created this barrier, he's actually also afraid of getting close to me. Yeah, so
What can we do to help with that black hole? What kind of can we bring any light or energies to it right now to help lighten it? Or did this
yeah. So now
trans
it already happened.
okay.
So now is the perspective. You
Yeah.
don't know the perspective before.
I mean, I think it's beautiful. I thought it was poetry in itself. But I just want to make sure that we can do anything we can while we're here, um, to help with that. Now, being in the heart space, she loves to go to the ocean and she feels that connection with it. And I know that concern of being near with her dad, she won't be near the place of the ocean. What can you tell us about her connection with the ocean?
Yeah, so the ocean is a plasma light, and it's something that nourishes her energetical makeup. Mm, yeah. So the ocean is the sparkles and the energy and the light, and it's that light that is more solidified and somehow caps the air and the heaviness of the ground. So it's that middle place where one can feel at home and at ease.
If she were to stay near her dad, is there a way she can connect with that plasma light energy without being in the ocean?
Yeah.
And what can you explain about that?
So the idea like would be that um mix the two. Um, Also, when it's possible to go somewhere to the ocean and also come back. And also, this is something that she already started doing. It's just visualizing and imagining that she's there, as it was real, feeling the warmth of the water on the skin, the little bubbles that break and tingle, the smell, everything, and just sit with that. And
Now, why has she been having a hard time packing to travel lately when she's been such a traveler her whole life?
there's nothing that comes up right now.
Okay,
Still waiting.
that's okay. We can move on. Um, let's go ahead. And the vortex of light and energy also worked on the solar plexus. Can you higher self let us know what was going on there with the solar plexus?
Yeah, so all of them are related, and for example, blocking self-expressions affects solar plexus as well, meaning the will. Right? And it's just around all of the doubts and self-confidence and issues, accepting what it is. It's a combination around all of the factors on the personal level and emotional level and professional level, all of that.
Now,
So the
when
idea is
she,
that
oh, go ahead.
the idea is that once you tap into a certain energy and you go with that flow, then all of them work together. The heart was a little bit more special, but when it comes, for example, to the throat and the solar plexus, they work very well together. The way, yeah. So
So, what advice for specifically working with the solar plexus of things she can do?
act and not take everything so seriously. Not taking life so seriously. Not taking herself so seriously all the time. There's nothing to guard, anyways. What if you say something wrong? Like, you know, speaking of personal relationships, like, already been like, already done a lot of things, already made so many mistakes, like apparent mistakes, just have different experiences. And there's nothing wrong that can happen. Maybe just, or if there has been a quote coming up lately, and like the only failure is like when you stop trying doing something. Try something, play with something, do things, create things. That's easy. There's nothing complicated. Like it's like skating. First is wobbly, it's hard, squeaks, it's bad, doesn't move, you fall. And then at one point it just flows and it's a dance. And you still have bad days, but it's different. The idea is, like what I'm getting is why not? Why not play? Why not say a lot of crazy things? Why not do a lot of crazy things? Crazy. Like so crazy. We all are frauds in some way, or maybe you are true masters. Doesn't even matter. It's a point of view,
Mhm.
and there's so many things to it. One is like, for example, what happened at the beginning of the year when teaching yoga. She was so anxious. She got herself sick, and then she showed up and just started being herself, and she had from what she knows, she had the right people, and everything worked out nicely, and it was a nice exchange. So when it never comes to PQH or teaching meditation or talking about things, writing about things. The most important is to be authentic and be okay to fail and just let it out there. Just express yourself. Doesn't have to be anything else than yourself. Your life is for yourself. Doesn't matter like how it looks, if it's not perfect, if it's not a perfect wrapping, or if there is a typo or wherever it is. Doesn't matter, it doesn't look professional, doesn't matter if other people will say anything. You judge people, they will judge you, and it's okay, it's part of the game. Just try it out. That's the moment now. That's it.
I only giggle because when you're in these densities, it's very simple what you're saying. The application sometimes is the resistance that we feel as human beings.
Yeah, and it's very. It becomes harder somehow to. The time is going faster, so there's no time to get lost in all the details, and also it's very easy to sleep in on the other side. So the choice is more clear. You want to do something, go with the flow, go with the present moment, create what's in front of you, and you never know what happens in 1 week and or 1 year or whatever the time period is. Right. Now comes my mind to be my friend's website, because it was hers. I just started a little bit and a little bit, and in 3 years, it's something very mature, and you just step by step and just make it as you go. Mm. It, it, it's not about the final result. You never know what the final. You can like you can create in a lot of ways. You have a vision, and then you just do what's in front of you step by step, and then until you reach that vision, that can in the end turn out something, let's say, better or worse than expected. Or you can just start with an idea and see how that grows into something that you never knew how it can grow or develop. We are all, in the end, we are just meant to take one step at a time, and one step takes you to another and another. You don't need to know the whole journey and all of the steps.
But with manifesting, we're taught to create an outcome we want to see in our mind's eye and release it. So, do we do that still with manifestation? Like keep an idea of what we want, or should we be more in the flow?
This was a teaching from somebody called Franco de Nicola, and this was something. So now I'm just me and my higher self are kind of doing some ping pong here. Um, and he was talking the difference between manifestation and creation. Manifestation is something that is more 3D, 4D, and creation is something that is 4D, and manifestation is when you wanna manifest something you already know, and creation is when you are creating something new. So now it's up to you what you're choosing or what your like soul alignment in doing. Is it manifesting or creating? And
Which one?
creation is when you create something new, you don't know what you're creating. You just go with the flow and things just flow. It's when somebody writes a book, they don't like something new. Sometimes they don't know what they're writing, and then words just come in. Or like in a painting, you can know exactly what you want to paint, or you can put the brush on the canvas, and then you're creating something new that nobody has seen. You can create the perfect landscape, or you can create like some weird abstract painting that just blows people's mind, or something in between.
So is
There's
creation
no,
more, does it have more of a high vibration?
well, it's just a different, like in the end, if you're stepping outside and we're not trying to judge any of the vibrations, there just are different facets of uh, divinity.
Mm.
Then we wouldn't say that. It's just it's a choice. Like, what you want to experience, and maybe if we are moving towards a different vibration, then we're probably going to be nudged to do something like that. And in the end, as human beings that are evolving all the time, we manifest and create at the same time. There are people that are meant to manifest, and there are people that are meant to create, or do both.
Mm.
There are so many, like as many people there are, there's many faces of God there. So what I'm trying to say is that there's no good or wrong around, are we manifesting or creating, is just a choice. You can, so that's the cool thing about being yourself and trying to be present, and when you drop out of judgment, you see what's present for you. You have a vision of something and you want to do it in the smallest detail, or you have an idea or hint or something that you want to do and you don't know how it's going to evolve, and you just flow until there's something there.
I love that. I love that a lot because a lot of times when we talk about vibration, I mean, it's a scientific scale, right? But it also does hold like if you're in a lower vibration, there might be judgment towards that. And so it's just like this is like a very beautiful message in the fact that like it's both are great and both are purposeful, but you just have to make a choice of, what you want to do.
Oh, yeah. Or being present and see what you do somehow, and being that flow. um yeah, again, as many people there are so many, there are as many manifestation of this. We all have our flavor around how we go around manifestation and creation.
Well, I had one final question um, about ascension to the 5D. Is that even happening? Or is that just
Yeah.
something humanity's wanting to create right now?
No, it's happening.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to ask the higher self if there are any final messages right now for her to help her on her journey.
No, just around ascension is that sometimes there can be so much like talk around it and praising it, or I don't know, there's so many aspects that it's creating, again, it's not as special, as we want to think it is. It just creates more polarity and duality, and in the end it's just around a natural stage that this planet and everything goes through. The same way we have the seasons, and in some parts at least depending how many you have. The same thing with ascension. We're just we're on those days when you feel that that autumn is coming. Not summer was not bad. Autumn is not bad or good or anything. They're just part of seasons that change, and we just need to flow and just go with it and adapt to the new season. Yeah, that's
If it's not special, why are there so many beings here at this time supporting us to go through this?
Does it have to be special to have so many beings to support us?
No, I'm just curious as to why they would be here to help us if it wasn't like such a pivotal point in the changing of seasons, I guess.
Mm. But we're not separate. No, we are not. No, we're talking about meals. It's just we are all part of God, and sometimes somebody comes and gives you a meal when you need, because we are one the same.
Hmm.
Meaning, we are going through this step, and we are now at that time, and it just becomes so natural and beautiful for other beings to come here and support us. The same way you would give a warm meal to somebody when they're in need.
I love that.
And uh, we should not normalize, and not should, but no, that I think it's beautiful to normalize more. Also, this type of actions.
Hmm.
We got so used to. We still have, like it's still the polarity coming, the polarity thinking. Like something is more special than something else, and even helping each other shouldn't be something special, and should be more part of our, like, or just allowing more our being to be part of divinity. Because I think also in quantum physics is proven that the frequency of the universe, the frequency of love, a higher frequency, and this is something that is normal. And it's nice to train our mind to think at these things more as normal things. So that doesn't make them less, let's say, doesn't make them less special, but it doesn't create that separation, if it makes sense.
Yeah, that absolutely does. And we'll set our intention to help support that for humanity and within ourselves.
Yeah. And also, if you go outside time and space, and you have that really zoom out view on things already happened. Um, this is just a blink of an eye in the whole sphere, in God's face. Like if you look at human in with human eyes, we have this happens. We have a new cycle. I think it was 26,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in the eyes of the universe or God, this is just something that happens in an instant, in a quantum moment.
Thank you so much. And I know she's been wanting this connection with the higher self and with her team. So if you guys can just increase and amplify the connection that she has with you on her daily basis, we would love that. Just giving you a moment to have your quantum hug right now with each other before we bring you back. But I just wanted to send some honor and gratitude for all the higher perspectives and such a beautiful creation. It was a beautiful session of poetry is how I felt. I really appreciate this information.
Thank you.